Hello and welcome to Tech Deals. Will it play Fortnite on the $99 Ryzen 3 2200G 4-core 4-thread with VEGA 8 integrated graphics, 1080p, 3 different runs, low detail, medium detail, and high detail chart at the end of the video. I'm going to show you footage from all 3 runs so you can get an idea of what kind of performance you'll get at different detail levels so you can decide whether or not this is for you. Linked down in the video description below will be a playlist of all of my Will It Play videos, testing a variety of games on a variety of different types of hardware. Some of the videos are only 3 minutes long, some of the videos are over 10 minutes long, depending upon the complexity of what's being tested. You can take a look at that if you'd like to see more games in more detail and more hardware. First up, we have high detail. You can tell because we're only getting 26, 27 frames per second. It's playable, but it is not fast. It is, however, relatively smooth. This, at high detail, is more playable than PlayerUnknown's Battleground was at low detail, even though it was, frankly, very, very stuttery and very rough in terms of playability. This was smooth. I didn't have a problem playing it, it just wasn't quick. There was a very, very minor amount of input lag, but the truth is you could play at high detail if you really wanted to. Now, when you actually see the rest of this video and you see the different settings, I would like to remind you of something. Detail presets are just presets. You can select in between settings. In Fortnite, for example, when you lower the detail to medium, the render resolution is lowered to 720p. When I just turned on the benchmarking there, by the way, that's what happened when I pressed F10. Up to this point, actually, the benchmark wasn't running. Then I benchmarked the rest of it. 3 completely separate runs, 3 different goes at this, some longer than others. My low detail run was pretty quick, but man, I got shot. What can I say? In any case, the render resolution changes. So you can adjust that. Maybe you want low detail, but it's a little bit too fuzzy and ugly, and you want to turn it up a bit, raise the render resolution. So that's actually, that's basically SD, standard def. It's below 720p. You don't have to use the presets. Play around with it. Find a setting that you like. Here we've skipped ahead to running across the field. I'm not going to put the full plays in here because, frankly, when you put them all in here, we're approaching an hour of video, and of course that's just crazy. Most people don't want to watch that because this is not a let's play, it's not a game review, it's a performance video. In fact, if I'm not careful, it's going to turn into at least a 20-minute video. Don't worry, we're not going to let that happen. We're going to change over in just a minute. You can see the performance. It's good, but not great. You need a dedicated graphics card and a whole lot more than this if you really want better performance. Yes, you can overclock the graphics chip by a couple hundred megahertz. Yes, you can get the Ryzen 5 2400G, which has VEGA 11. It has more shader cores. It comes at 1250 out of the box. But that's not going to suddenly turn high detail into 60 frames per second. If you want to play Fortnite at 1080p high detail 60 frames per second, at a very minimum, you need a GTX 1050 or an RX 560. Now, a 2 gig card would be fine. Take a look at our VRAM usage, just under 2 gigs. It's very well optimized. It works fine. 2 gigs of VRAM would be fine, but you need a real graphics card, not an APU. Having said that, let's show you what medium looks like. This is now medium detail. I put a long slide in there to make it easy and obvious for you. Notice the huge and dramatic performance difference. That is because, as I said before, medium detail is not running at 1080p internally. It's outputting at 1080p, but internally it's rendering at 720p. So not only have all the shaders and textures and other details, lighting effects, been turned down, but so is the resolution. 1 million pixels instead of 2 million pixels. And that is why we've gone from 25 frames per second to 70 frames per second. It is a huge, huge difference. Medium detail is the sweet spot on this CPU-GPU combo. Now I'm going to show you low in just a second, just a minute or so of it, but the truth is, this performance is really good. There's no input lag. The character is completely controllable. I actually got a kill in this battle. I actually managed to shoot somebody. Of course, it was because I saw them first and I had a rifle, which you can see me holding right here. But hey, at least I got a kill. Yay me, because I never do. I suck at these games so much, it's not even funny. We're going to run over here a bit, then we're going to run over there a bit, and then, hey, we might find somebody. We are now skipping about 4 minutes ahead into this battle. You can see the timers and whatnot. Why? Because I'm so proud of my one kill, I thought I would show it to you. And at least it shows the gun being fired and somebody being shot, so things are happening. Oh, wait. Oh, he doesn't see me. I'm going to sneak over here. Did I get my glimpse? Yes. Nope. Hold your fire. Get in a good shooting spot. Aim carefully and... oh! I am so bad. I'm sorry, whoever that was. My apologies. That was a total scrub kill. But I got one, so I suppose I can be proud of myself. In any case, this is medium detail, and as you can see, totally playable. We are now moving on to low detail. Notice the huge frame rate increase, 170 frames per second. If you absolutely want 144 plus frames per second a lot of the time, and a $99 AMD Ryzen APU is the most you can afford, it'll do it. You're watching it right here. Just keep in mind that the graphics are, shall we say, not great. But if you don't care, if you just want high frame rate, if that is the most important thing to you in the whole world, hey, we almost touched 200 frames per second there. Just keep in mind that the render resolution is turned down to basically standard def. It is very low. Everything is turned way, way down. And, oh, yeah, we're not going to survive this very long. So this was a short benchmark run, but the performance is spectacular. So who needs to test it for 20 minutes when you can see how clearly this runs crazy good at low detail? Now we're going to jump to the benchmark chart and avoid posting my gruesome death on the internet. Low, medium, and high detail, the green, 171 frames per second average. Granted, it was a very, very short run, but you saw the performance. It's spectacular and crazy good. I don't actually recommend low. I think it's unnecessary, but if you want it, it's there. The medium is much more interesting. The quality, the image is much nicer to look at, and it was still immensely playable. 62 frames per second average, and that was a long run too. That was not a short, quick run, and I benchmarked the entire thing. 52 frames per second, 1% low, 44 frames per second, 0.1% low. Extremely stable performance. I recommend medium detail 1080p on the $99 Ryzen 3 APU for most people. That's pretty cool. Now, high detail, you can see there in red, 22, 18, and 12. It was awful. Don't even, yeah, you can do it, but it's not worth the performance penalty. Set it to medium. I just have to give AMD a ton of credit. For $100, you get a CPU graphics card combination that absolutely plays an incredible amount of games. Linked down in the description below will be links to buy this, as well as the Ryzen 5 version and my full playlist of videos. Like this video if you like it, share it with your friends if you loved it. Remember to subscribe with that big, huge red button directly below. Questions and comments down below. And as I said, links in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.